Welcome back, everyone, to the Michigan Trails Report. I'm your host, Tom Funk. And in case you are new, or maybe you just forgot, I am the author of 50 Hikes in Michigan's Upper Peninsula and 50 Hikes on the North Country Trail. And you get to see me rabble-rouse on your various Facebook hiking group pages. Our sponsor, welcome back to Gateway to Pictured Rocks Lodge, which is located smack dab in the middle of the eastern Upper Peninsula, less than an hour from both ends of Pictured Rocks, now accepting reservations for fall and next summer. Lick your finger, write this down on the dust on your refrigerator, vrbo.com/980-761. And as always, I'd like to thank my friend Adam Main. And he's a musician in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and he provides the music for my podcast. So thank you, Adam. All right, so if you are new to the podcast, most weeks I run through what is going on regarding hiking and backpacking in Michigan. And I have a bunch of different segments to the show, which runs about 20 minutes most weeks. Segments run each podcast, like Trail of the Week and the Reservation Report, where I run down the status of reservations that are state parks and national parks and wilderness areas that require permits for hiking and camping. Other segments include Don't Do This, Gearhead, and Hiker Trash. I would like to thank my longtime listeners for indulging me as I posted my journal entries, albeit in a podcast format, commemorating my 1998 hike across Michigan's Upper Peninsula. And now that the summer is over, it's time again for the Michigan Trails Report and its new format. Yes, that is right. For the long-time listeners, you are used to most weeks having the Michigan Trails Report with the occasional break from the normal format. What I'll be doing here on out is having a Trails Report monthly for sure in the off-season and probably every other week during the peak season for hiking. The other weeks of the month look for other trail-related content. For example, I put the podcast both of my books, 50 Hikes on the North Country Trail and 50 Hikes in the Upper Peninsula. So if you're traveling and looking for a hike, you can look up the podcast for an audio summary of any of my hikes in either of my books. It's kind of cool. You can kind of listen to it and figure out how long it is and where the trailheads are and things like that. I also have journal entries, which I shared for my Upper Peninsula hike, but I also have them for my hikes across Wisconsin and the entire Lower Peninsula, which I'll put to podcast format as well. So, with all that said, let's talk trails. All right, Trail of the Week. Although 90% of Michigan's North Country Trail miles are hiked in a few localities, there are plenty of places to hike away from these popular spots. And if you live in the Grand Rapids area, as I do, there is plenty of hiking between Lowell and Rockford. And I'm seeing the segment north of Lowell utilizing the Boy Scout camp as a staging area getting some love recently. The trail rambles through young forest up and over small hills. Fall is a real nice time to hike because, one, there's hardly any bugs, and two, the color's changing with the oaks and the hickory leaves. It's pretty cool. The trees are changing colors, the leaves are falling on the ground, especially the hickories. They kind of lose them a little on the early side, so it's a nice, easy hike. So what you do is you start at the Boy Scout camp, and then you hike to Montcalm Avenue. It's about a 3-mile trek. And you can continue on to Fallisburg Park, and that will tack on another 5 miles, but a chunk of that will be a road walk, so keep that in mind. There is plenty of parking, and there's even a loop in Fallisburg Park. And past the park, it's an 8.5-mile road walk, only to end up on a paved path before entering Seidman Park on your way to Rockford. So keep that in mind. So next week, it looks like we're going to talk about a trail in a national park. If you have any recommendations, head over to the Facebook page, the Michigan Trails Report, Tom's Trail Tales, and offer up a suggestion. All right, trail conditions. Multiple reports of trails with downed trees due to all the recent storms, including the aforementioned stretch of the North Country Trail in the Lowell State Game Area. If you do see a problem, report it to the land manager. And keep in mind that most of the North Country Trail is maintained by volunteers, so please be patient. And new North Country Trail issues include a short detour in Wilderness State Park. And in Mackinac County, there is a bridge replacement over the Carp River. And that has you on what appears to be a pretty significant detour, but just saying, I could tell you that the river is pretty shallow this time of year, clogged with a lot of downed trees, so I think you know what I'm hinting at. And another short detour is being reported in Pictured Rocks at Miners Beach. That one's been going on for most of the summer, but it is new to me. When I just looked it up, I'm like, oh, look at that. There is a trail detour in Pictured Rocks. And other ongoing issues include the usual detours around the Ontonagon River. If and when the water is being discharged from the dam, there's still beaver flooding on the trail west of Craig Lake, and the bridge is still out on Bush Creek in the Trap Hills, and that is a less than fun stream to cross. Hopefully the water's nice and low right now, and you're able to get across it if you're hiking that segment of trail. And for bugs, bug report. Well, a banner year again for mosquitoes and ticks, and even into late summer, we have places with mosquitoes causing problems. Heck, I see posts coming out of the Upper Peninsula complaining about mosquitoes. So we have to wait for our first round of frost, and that should take care of the bugs. And hint, hint, I have the 10-day forecast coming up near the end of the podcast. So let's see. I have another segment. It's called Gearhead. And we don't do this one every week, but, when something piques my interest, I tell you about it. I had the opportunity to attend ADIHEX. ADIHEX. Say what? You say? Although most of you are familiar with Outdoorama, Quiet Adventure Symposium, and Canoecopia, because I blather on about them on, ADIHEX is in Abu Dhabi, and it is the Abu Dhabi International Hunting and Equestrian Exhibition, which takes place in the United Arab Emirates. It is Asia's largest outdoor trade show, and I'm pretty sure you could fit an Outdoorama, a Quiet Adventure Symposium, and a Canoecopia in this trade show and still have room to boot. It is heavily focused on hunting, a lot of firearms and knives for sale. I bought me a few knives there as presents. Lots and lots of camping equipment. It was pretty heavily focused this year on outdoor vehicles. So it's all kinds of crazy vehicles there too. But it's all a lot of cool camping gear. One I discovered that I did not know exist, and it's a very new company. It's called Silver Ant, and they make titanium cookware. Yeah, there's MSR and Tokas, but man, these guys have all kinds of titanium cookware. They even had several ways to make coffee and tea, and over in that part of the world, coffee and tea is a big deal. You think it's a big deal here? No, it is not. It's not compared to over in Asia. So, I put a link on the Facebook page along with links to more photos to what I saw at this trade show. Check it out. It was an eye-opener, and I'm probably going to put together a video too. I shot some video, haven't put that on the YouTube channel, but look for that here shortly. Hiker Trash is another segment we have where we highlight some hikers that are doing some really cool things out there. We have two hikers currently attempting long-distance hikes on the North Country Trail. One is Mike Trailhawk Dunn, who I believe I highlighted as the first North Country Trail hiker to hit 100 miles this year. Mike is going to hike from the Mackinac Bridge down to what I believe is US 10. He's out, I think, doing a break-in hike right now because He said he's going to go up the Mackinac Bridge and hike back. Maybe he's going the other direction. But he's been posting on the North Country Trail community pages, and I'm sure I'll share some stuff as I see him post online. The other is Bo Swanson. Bo is hiking from St. Ignace to Ironwood. Bo just got underway. He is somewhere around Soldier Lake and heading towards Tequamanon. Good luck, gentlemen. You could not pick a better time of year to do your hiking. Fall, I'm telling you folks, why do you want to go in June with all the bugs and unpredictable weather? Fall is the best time to go. And these guys picked a great time to go. So, and hey, lastly, a shout out to all the 100-mile North Country Trail hikers out there. I've been sharing them to the Facebook page as I've been seeing them over the past few months. So, let's give our hiker trash and our 100-milers a hand. Oh, it's nice of you. Thanks for clapping and playing along. All right, trail calendar. September 23rd is National Public Lands Day, and some chapters are having events, and I'm sure our public land managers will be as well. So check in with your favorite public park, state park, national forest, see if they're offering any hikes or events. There are North Country Trail chapters putting on events as well. I'll highlight some of these events here in the segment. So we'll start off with the Michigan Hiking and Backpacking Facebook page. They have a group hike, Rifle River State Recreation Area. That's going to take place Saturday, September 23rd. And as always, go to their pages, check out all the details. I'm just hitting the highlights here. Northern Michigan Hiking and Backpacking, Friday, October 6th to the 9th. They're going to have a Porcupine Mountains backpacking trip. I'll have a little more information about Porcupine Mountains here in a little bit. So here's an event from the Chief Noonday chapter. They're going to have at their chapter meeting and open mic. Those guys are a bunch of comedians. But anyways, it's called What Do You Keep in Your Trail First Aid Kit? That'll be September 13th, 7 p.m., Delton District Library in Berry County. September 23rd is a National Public Lands Day, also with the Chief Noonday chapter at Historic Bridge Park in Battle Creek. They're going to do a hike at 9 a.m., and they're going to go through Kimball Pines County Park and the Ott Biological Preserve, which is a really cool place. So it's 5 miles out and back. They're going to do a longer one, 9 miles out and back. Plenty of places to spot vehicles and stuff like. And my favorite part to hikes is having a place to hang out afterwards, and they're going to hang out at McGonagall's Pub on Emmett Street. McGonagall's is an awesome place, and I've been there many times. Marquette area North Country Trail chapter is also going to have an event. They are going to basically ask people to sign up and pledge to hike one trail segment, and they're going to have an open house, if you will, at the Senior Pavilion on Presque Isle between 5 and 7 p.m. West Michigan chapter of North Country Trail is also going to have an event. They're going to have a hike, and they're going to be hiking, looks like someplace around Lowell. Doesn't say exactly where, but that is going to be on the 23rd at 10 a.m. Let's see. Oh, let's delete that. That has taken place. And hey, Trail Angels page, if you're in the Eastern Upper Peninsula or the Northern Lower, keep your eyes open for Bo and Mike, and they may have some requests. Bo's already put a couple of them out there. And I mentioned Quiet Waters or Quiet Adventures, Outdoorama Canucopia. I will look for dates and maybe tell you about them on our next podcast, but those are our Michigan-based, so actually Great Lakes-based outdoor events. So, are we ready? It is time for the reservation report brought to you by MichiganTrailMaps.com. High-quality maps of many of your favorite hiking trails like Pictured Rocks, downloadable maps, and books on hiking in Michigan like mine. Pictured Rocks reservation system is still open, and you can book to the end of the calendar year. And it looks like people are wising up and hiking more in the fall than, say, June. September through the first week of October is slim picking. Starting about the 8th of October, you can reasonably get what you want for sites. But that is also the time when snow could start to fly. So keep in mind, if you can't get what you want for this fall, reservations for 2024 open January 1st, I believe at 10 a.m. You want to make your reservations not days, not weeks, but months in advance for Pictured Rocks. Hurricane Campground, book solid through the fall. 12 Mile Beach, also book solid through the fall. But keep in mind that reservation.gov, they do open up a few sites that will be released for reservation a month and 2 weeks out for each of those campgrounds. So if you want to hover over your computer, feel free to do so. And Grand Island, reservable up to October the 9th. Looks like winter is around the corner. Sylvania, still plenty of openings. And all the above, recreation.gov website or app. I looked all this stuff up on the website today. For you longtime listeners, you know my challenges with using their app. Michigan State Park Campgrounds, midnrreservations.com. Backcountry camping sites still open for fall hiking. Porcupine Mountains, if you haven't made reservations for fall, your itinerary cannot include a Saturday, as all sites are reserved on Saturdays through October the 7th. So you will have to make a weekday work or a weekday schedule work. Craig Lake Backcountry, still plenty of availability. And Tequamanon, as always, got to call ahead to make your reservations. Isle Royal, the Ranger is done for the season. Reservations open January 3rd for the 2024 season. Isle Royal Queen, Mondays and Fridays only through the end of the month. Thing is, it appears you cannot make online reservations anymore. You'll have to call them to see if there's anything available. And rumor on the street is Isle Royal may go to using what's this website called? Recreation.gov for their backcountry sites here in the near future. So keep that in mind. All right. It is time for the weather forecast. Marquette, rain on and off next 10 days. Highs in the mid-50s to mid-60s. Lows in the 40s. It was noted on a couple of my Upper Peninsula pages that, fall has arrived. And they don't look like they're going to be getting any more really warm weather anytime soon. Grand Rapids, mostly dry, sunny, temps in the high 60s and low 70s, lows in the 50s and 60s. Grayling, similar to Marquette, although there'll be more days without rain than with. Highs in the 50s, upper 60s. But I saw a couple of nights it may get below 40, so that first frost may be coming soon. All right, so get out and do some hiking. Post them up on all the various Facebook pages. Heck, post them up on my page. So, there you go. Hey, I created a one-stop shop webpage for all the various social media and affiliations and all my goings-on. No more looking for a pen that works. No more writing in the fog on your bathroom mirror. Just remember this. TomFunk.net. Yes, that's it. One page. That's all you have to remember. And the other thing you need to do right now, if you're new, is click on the follow button. If you don't, I'm going to cancel your RAI membership, so keep that in mind. If you subscribe, you get the podcast the moment it's released versus me posting it on social media when I get around to it. And once again, thanks for sponsoring us, Gateway to Pictured Rocks. And as always, I like to end the show with a quote. I felt my lungs inflate with the onrush of scenery, air, mountains, trees, people. I thought, this is what it is to be happy. That's Sylvia Plath from the Bell Jar. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.